All right, language explorers. So, Romeo and Juliet, Act 1, Scene 1. Enter Samson and Gregory, armed with swords and bucklers. Gregory, on my word, will not carry coals. No, for then we should be colliers. I mean, if we should be in collar, we'll draw. Ah, while you live, draw your neck out of the collar. I strike quickly, being moved, but thou art not quickly moved to strike. A dog of the house of Montague moves me. To move is to stir, and to be valiant is to stand, and therefore if thou art moved, thou runnest away. A dog of that house shall move me to stand. I will take the wall of any man or maid of Montague's. That shows thee a weak slave, for the weakest goes to the wall. True, and therefore women, being the weaker vessels, are even thrust to the wall. Therefore I will push Montague's men from the wall, and thrust his maid to the wall. The quarrel is between our masters, and us their men. 'Tis all one. I will show myself a tyrant. When I have fought with the men, I will be civil with the maids. I will cut off their heads. The heads of the maids? Aye, the heads of the maids, or their maiden heads. Take it in what sense thou wilt. Thou must take it in sense that I feel it. Me they shall feel while I am able to stand, and 'tis known I am pretty piece of flesh. 'Tis well art thou no fish. If thou hadst been poor John. Draw thy tool, here comes the house of Montagues. Enter Abram and Ballistar. My naked weapon is out. Quarrel, I will back thee. How? Turn thy back and run, fear me not. No, marry, I fear thee. Let us take the law on our sides, let them begin. I will frown as I pass by, and let them take it as they list. Nay, as they dare, I will bite my thumb at them, which is to disgrace them if they bear it. Do you bite your thumb at us, sir? I do bite my thumb, sir. Do you bite your thumb at us, sir? Is the law of our side if I say yea? No. No, sir, I do not bite my thumb at you, but I bite my thumb, sir. Do you quarrel, sir? Quarrel, sir? No, sir. But if you do, sir, I am for you. I serve as good a man as you. No better. Well, sir. Enter Bonvilo. Say, better. Here comes one of my master's kinsmen. Yes, better, sir. You lie. Draw, if you be men, Gregory, before thy washing blow. They fight. Benvolio, part, fools, put up your swords. You not know what you do. Beat down their swords. Enter Tybalt. What art thou drawn amongst these headless hinds? Turn thee, Benvolio, look upon thy death. I do but keep the peace. Put up thy sword, or manage it in part, men like these. What, drawn, and talk of peace? I hate the word as I hate hell, all Montagues and thee. Have at thee, coward. They fight. Enter 3 or 4 citizens with clubs. First citizen, clubs, bills, and partisans, strike. Beat them down. Club the Capulets. Down with the Montagues. Enter Capulet in his gown, and Lady Capulet. Capulet, what is this noise? Give me my long sword, ho! And Lady Capulet, a crutch, a crutch! Why do you call for a sword? My sword, I say, old Montague is come, and flourishes his blade in spite of me. Enter Montague and Lady Montague. Thou villain, Capulet, hold me not, let me go. Thou shalt not stir 1 foot or seek a foe. Enter Prince Ulysses with attendants. Prince. Rebellious subjects, enemies to peace, profaners of this neighbourhood stained steel, will they not hear? What ho you mean, you beasts, that quench the fire of your pernicious rage with purple fountains issuing from your veins, or pain of fortune from these bloody hands? Throw your mistempered weapons to the ground, and hear the sentence of your moved prince. 3 civils brawl, bred of an airy word, by thee, old Capulet Montague, hence thrice disturbeth the quiets of our streets, and made Verona's ancient citizens cast by their grave beseeming ornaments, to wield all partisans in hands as old, cankered with peace, to part your cankered hate. If you ever disturb the streets again, your lives shall pay the forfeit of the peace. For this time all the rest of you depart. Away, you, Capulet, shall go along with me, and Montague, come you this afternoon, to know our farther pleasure in this case. To old Freetown, our common judgment place, once more on pain of death all men depart. Exeunt prince and attendants, Capulet, Lady Capulet, Tybalt, citizens and servants. Montague. Who set this ancient quarrel new abroach? Speak, nephew, were you by when it began? Benvolio. Here were the servants of our adversary, and yours, close fighting ere as I did approach, I drew to part them. In the instance came the fiery Tybalt, with his sword prepared, which, as he breathed brief defiance to my ears, he swung about his head and cut the winds, who, nothing hurt withal, hissed him in scorn, while he were interchanging thrusts and blows, came more and fought on part and part, till the prince came, who parted either part. Oh, where is Romeo? Saw you him today? Right glad I am he was not at this fray. Madam, an hour before the worshipped sun peered forth the golden window of the east, a troubled mind drave me to walk abroad, where underneath the grove of sycamore that westward ruthed from the city side, so early walking did I see your son. Towards him I made, but he was ware of me, and stole in the covert of the wood, I measuring his affections of my own, which then most sought where most might not be found. Being one too many, my weary self pursued my humour, not pursuing his, and gladly shunned who gladly fled from me. Many a morning hath here been seen, with tears augmenting the fresh morning's dew, adding to clouds more clouds with this deep sigh. But all soon as all the clearing sun should in the farthest east begin to draw the shady curtains from Aurora's bed, away from light steals home on heavy sun, and private in his chamber pens himself, shuts in his window, locks fair daylight out, and makes himself an artificial night. Black and pretentious must his humour prove, unless good counsel may cause the remove. My uncle, my noble uncle, do you know the cause? I neither know it nor can learn of him. Have you impertined him by any means? Both myself and many other friends, but he his own affections' counsellor, is to himself, I will not say how true, but to himself so secret and so close. So far the smoulding and discovery, as is the bud, but with an envious worm, ere he can spread his sweet leaves in the air, or dedicate his beauty to the sun. Could we but learn from whence his sorrows grow, we would as willing give cure as known. Enter Romeo. See where he comes, So please you step aside, I'll know his grievance, or be much denied. I would thou wert so happy by thy stay, to hear true shift. Come, madam, let's away. Exeunt Montague and Lady Montague. Good morrow, cousin. Is the day so young? But new struck 9. Ay me, sad hours seem long. Was that my father that went so fast? It was. What sadness lengths Romeo's hours? Not having that which having makes them short. In love, out. Of love, out of her favourite where I'm in love. Alas, that love, so gentle in his view, should be so tyrannous and rough in proof. Alas, that love, whose view is muffled still, should without eyes see pathway to his will. Where shall we dine? O me, what fray was here? Yet tell me not, for I have heard it all. Here's much to do with hate, but more with love. Why then, O brawling love, O loving hate, O anything of nothing first create? O heavenly lightness, serious vanity, misshapen chaos of well-seeming forms, feather of lead, bright smoke, cold fire, sick health, still waking sleep, that is not what it is. This love I feel, that feeling no love in this. Dost thou not laugh? No, 'cause I rather weep. Good heart? At what? At thy good heart's oppression. Why, such is love's transgression. Griefs of mine now lie heavy in my breast, which thou wilt propagate to have it pressed. With more of thine this love that thou hast shown doth have more grief too much of mine own. Love is a smoke made with the fume of sighs, being purged, a fire sparkling in lovers' eyes. Being vexed, a sea nourished with lovers' tears. What is it else? A madness most discreet, a cocking gall and a preserving sweet. Farewell, my cuz. Going. Benvolio. Soft, I will go along, and if you leave me, you do me wrong. Tut, I have lost myself, I am not here. This is not Romeo, he's somewhere over where. Tell me in the sadness, who is that you love? What, shall I groan and tell thee? Groan, why not, but sadly tell me who. Bid a sick man in sadness makes his will, a word ill urged to one that is so ill. In sadness, cousin, I do love a woman. I aimed so near when I supposed you loved. A right good mark, man, and she's fair I love. A right fair mark, fair cause is soothest hit. Well, in that hit you miss, she'll not be hit. With Cupid's arrow she hath Dane's wit, and in strong proof of chastity well armed. From love's weak childish bow she lives uncharmed. She will not stay the siege of loving terms, nor bid the encounter of assailing eyes, nor ope her lap to saint seducing gold. She's rich in beauty, only poor, that when she dies with beauty dies her store. Then she hath sworn that she will live chaste. She hath, and in the spring makes huge waste. For beauty starveth with her severity, cuts beauty off from all prosperity. She is too fair, too wise, wisely too fair, to merit bliss by making me despair. She hath forsworn to love, and in the vow, do I live dead, that live to tell it now. Be ruled by me, forget to think of her. Oh, teach me how I should forget to think. By giving liberty unto thine eyes, examine other beauties. 'Tis the way to call hers exquisite in question more. These happy masks that kiss fair ladies' brows, being black, puts us in mind they hide the fair. He that's drunken, blind, cannot forget the precious treasure of his eyesight lost. Show me a mistress that is passing fair. What doth her beauty serve me as a note, where I may read who's past that fair passing fair? Farewell, thou cannot teach me to forget. I'll pay the doctrine, or else die in debt.